Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones on XFM 104.9. Well, I think, the listening public would have enjoyed Knob News there.
Oh.
So, I mean, there was a lot of Knob News this week.
I was surprised. You know, I would have thought it would be hard sometimes to get Knob News together, but...
I would have thought it would have been part of a bigger news programme, but, I mean, I don't think we'd dedicate a whole, sort of, you know, like John Craven's news round.
Yeah.
A whole 5 minutes to knob-related news.
Yeah.
There was other news, was there, in the week at all? Karl, it wasn't just all knob-related, you didn't just research.
No, they're the ones that sort of stand out. There was Christ on a crisp.
Right, what's that? That's obviously a crisp that someone vaguely thinks looks a bit like Robert Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a load of twaddle, yeah.
There was a bloke who can, blow up balloons using his ears.
What do you mean?
Look at him. Just,
well, it's all connected, isn't it? That's, you know, you're just redirecting it, aren't you?
Pointless, though, isn't it?
It is pointless. No, I'm sort of downplaying it like it's no big deal, but it is pretty impressive.
It's not. When was the last time you blew up a balloon?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I mean. It's not needed. It's not impressive. That's what I mean. That's what
But you can say that about any form of sort of like bizarre entertainment. I don't think you have to hang yourself from hooks, but a lot of people go and see Jim Rose Circus. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't see the...
But would you go and see that?
What, Man Blowing Up Balloons did? No. If it was a mate of mine, I'd go, do that thing you can do. You know, to a group of new friends, I'd go, alright, then I'd get on with it. You know, to me, it's below, an average card trick, doing something like that.
Apparently, though, he does make balloon animals with his penis, so,
which is pretty good, isn't it?
Up with his ears, so.
It's always a snake.
Leads
So there's a little snake. I go, yeah, well done.
back to the news. Right, now listen then. What about another feature we'd like doing?
What?
Song with a story.
Okay, he's been working on this, hasn't he?
He has, hasn't he?
He's like a producer, isn't he?
Yeah.
But with a completely round head.
Just, you know, I was saying that, you were saying I don't like music, but I'm saying I do if I can hear what they're singing about, and there's a reason to sort of listen to it.
Have you turned into 50s dad? What is this?
No, but you know, it's like, it's nice to have a song where you go, you know, I can't turn it off because I need to know how it ends. You know what I mean? It's like a mini...
Right, it's like a mini film. You can't sit through a film unless it's got a grotesque in it. He can watch The Elephant Man, because he's getting a glimpse of this, he's waiting to see the bloke's face. That's all he's waiting for, right? And so, 3 minutes is about as much as you can maintain his...
well, last week we did, Babushka.
Yeah.
You know, that woman dressing up, sort of tricking her husband, then it sort of backfires and that. Don't know how it ended properly, I don't know if they split up or whatever. But this week...
There's no follow-up. Kate Bush isn't now penning the sequel. Right, go on then, what's this thing?
Pinball Wizard.
Right, okay, what's the story there?
It's about this sort of deaf, dumb, and blind kid.
Right.
Who's good at pinball. That's it.
So I don't believe he would be good at pinball.
But even if he is, it's a lot to give up, isn't it? Just for that.
Well, he didn't give it up.
No, but it's not like, well, you can't even say to him, oh, you know, a lot of bad news and that, but you're good at pinball. It's just a bit rubbish. I mean, does he even know he's playing pinball? Is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? And it's not hard, it's just moving the thing, you know, just hitting the buttons hard.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, if he was good at Pac-Man or something, you go, oh yeah. But...
It wouldn't scan, would it? Well, I mean, what were they thinking of? What were the Who thinking of when they wrote this?
Well, let's have a listen to it.
But, you see, now, being
He's a Pac-Man wizard.
it kinda works.
Yeah.
He's deaf, dumb, and blind, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty grim, isn't it?
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Well, don't say that. Oh, yeah, that's alright, I can't hear you.
No, but it is like, it's just the worst, isn't it? I can't imagine what that would be like. It's pointless. I'm being a tapeworm or something, isn't it? It's just... No, but what I'm saying is, what sort of a life is that? It's horrible.
It is a bit like being one of those creatures deep in the ocean.
Well, look, can I just answer your questions? It must be terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, job done.
But would you want a song about it, and, you know, he's good at pinball?
But it's not a real person, which, I mean, well, you were getting onto the realms of people with disabilities, but he is not a bloke that existed they sang a song about.
We'll listen to it, anyway, let's...
Well, it's not a true story, I don't need to listen to
Let's
it.
have a listen.
Oh, okay. Pinball Wizard, by The Who, a little song with a story there, about a little deaf, dumb and blind kid. Thoughts, Karl?
It's depressing, like I say. I don't know why. Is he enjoying playing the game?
I don't know, let's get Pete Townsend on the phone.
Carl, what are you talking about?
I'm just trying to
Listen to the lyrics, right? Deaf, don't like it. He can't hear, no bells and bells. He can't see any flashing lights. He plays by sense of smell. Now, I'm pretty sure that isn't a scientific document Pete Townsend is reading out there when he wrote this song. He's making it up.
But the thing is, with all songs or stories, there's got to be a little bit of realism to it. What do you know what I mean? Why bother putting money in it? Just let him hit the buttons if he's happy.
That's true.
That's a fair point.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point.
Yep.
That is great. Yeah. Well, I think you've made Daltrey and Entwistle and the whole crew look fools.
Yeah, they won't get fooled again.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're supposed to. I mean, of all the thing, I mean, it is horrible. We're not like having a go. This is what I always worry about when we play. But at the end of the day, that's what he's singing about. So we're not having a go.
No. And it's not a real person, it doesn't really exist. I say again, it's a fictional person playing pinball and always getting a replay. Okay? This fella's saying that he's good at pinball, he's played from Surrey to Bromley, but there's this little deaf and blind kid. He can't believe it. He cannot believe it.
If you had to lose something, Steve, right?
It wouldn't be money.
That's true enough.
Your sight or your ears. What?
That's too much, I can't decide. That's too painful. Sight or your ears?
What about you?
Intuitively, it would be your hearing, because I couldn't...
No, I think it's got to be sight for me.
Yeah.
Well, you're always together, so that's alright.
Anyway, listen, is it almost time?
Well, I've got to ask Carl. Sorry, I've got to ask Carl.
Sorry, go on.
Carl, what would you rather be, deaf or blind? When did this question ever really come up? When the doctor goes, well listen, you've got well we can either lose your eyes or your ears. It's up to you. This is never a decision that has to be made by anyone ever in life. But go on then, would you rather be blind or deaf?
It depends where you live.
I'm not even sure these are PC terms, blind and deaf anymore. Would you rather use your sense of sight or sight of hearing?
Depends where you live.
What do you mean it depends where you live?
Well, say if you lived in, like, a barren sort of, Africa or whatever, right? Out to sea, right?
Sure.
So, you could lose your sight.
Sure. But if you lived in a woman's locker room...
Well, if you lived in...
quite noisy.
Yeah, it's quite noisy.
Stop banging that door.
Yeah, I'll have my sight, lose my hearing.
But if you live in, like, New York, low to sea, but a little bit noisy.
Sure.
So...
Perfect.
That is a brilliant answer. Unbelievable, once again. Can we have monkey news? This show's like one long monkey news, isn't it? When you tune in to hear Karl Pilkington.
I don't know, I'll tell you what, why don't we play a little short track? Right,
what was your
short track?
What?
What is it, Steve?
It's Green Day, tell me if you like.
A bit of Green Day, we'll cram in the monkey news, we'll play the ads, Justin's here, that'll be that. Right,
go on.
That's what we'll do.
Green Day on XFM, 104.9, with JC Merchant and Karl Pilkington. We need the answers quickly, Karl.
Rockbusters, we're running out of time. We've got Rockbusters and monkey news to come in this fun-packed show.
Give us the clues, give us the answers.
Right, the first one was, why don't you borrow a little bit of land off, Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher?
Go on then.
Right, what am I getting at there? The initials were LS, right? Lease a Stan's field. Right, because you're borrowing it, that's leasing it, it's Stan Boardman, Stan Laurel, and, it's a field and that, innit? Second one, I'm gonna annoy those seabirds, that was B. What you doing when you're annoying a bird? You're bugging it. What's a seabird? A gull. Buggles. Right, buggles.
I don't know where to start, mate.
Right, don't worry about it.
I don't know where to start. If we had more time,
don't worry.
I'd throw him out of a window. Right.
What the Scouse fella said to the robber he found in his house next to his vineyard.
Go on,
that was A.W.
Yeah.
That was A, me Winehouse. Right? A, me Winehouse.
What?
A, me Winehouse.
What do you mean Winehouse?
It's a vineyard, and it's a cottage in a vineyard, so that's like a
say it again. What's the clue again?
Amy Winehouse.
Well, yeah, but what do you mean?
Amy.
Why is he saying, why is it a robber?
Because the robber's getting in, and he's sort of saying, hey.
But what's the robber got to do with it? Why is it just a normal bloke? I don't say, why is he saying, hey, me Winehouse? Why is he saying that?
He's saying to him, hey. Get Out kind
Well,
of
no,
thing.
no, you didn't say, no. Sorry, her
Doesn't
name
matter.
isn't
Anyway,
A. Get Out Me Winehouse. Her name is, her name isn't A. Get Out Me Winehouse.
Gavin Thompson got them all right. He's in Edinburgh, so he's winning ladder 49 and that's safe. That's on the way
And he's
to
going into the prize draw to win those. I mean, this better be a good monkey news, Carl. That's all I can say, because that was drivel. Amy Winehouse.
Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Right. There's this monkey, right?
Yeah.
And it had been, do you know you hear about monkeys being badly treated and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So, anyway, it goes into this home. It's 14, this monkey. It's called, Matty, right? Goes into this home where it's looked after.
What do you mean home?
Just like, just a little monkey home, right?
Okay, so zoo.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but they haven't got any other monkeys there, right?
What have they got there?
They've got just other animals and that, but not that many monkeys. But anyway, because he's there on his own, again, you know...
When you say monkey, do you mean a chimpanzee, by the way? Because you usually do.
Yeah.
I can't believe that journalist thought this was scripted.
Amazing.
So anyway, yeah, so he gets sort of pally with the people working there and that, and it's smoking fags, it's having a drink at night and all this, right?
What do you mean it's having a drink at night? How?
It's all here, Steve. I mean, we haven't really got time, but...
Well, you know, don't say it's all here like it's proof. You've got another stupid story that someone has put onto the internet. Someone sitting at home in their bedroom has put onto the internet.
So he's having a fag, he's drinking a lovely glass of Bang Rock Station.
Yeah, the wine that's perfect for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's loving life, he's forgetting about his past and everything, right? When this other monkey comes along,
Oh
no.
Trouble's brewing.
Go on.
right? That comes in, something's said. Right, forget it then. Forget it.
We were talking about famous mantras and sayings and things.
Yeah.
Never has a mank said so much to so many that means so little.
Brilliant.
So you can have that on your headstone. Rupert.
Your little round headstone.
Rupert's in the Isle of Man. He says, I don't know if you knew this, Karl, but apparently octopus's testicles are located in their heads.
Yeah. But then, to me, that isn't that amazing, because at the end of the day, an octopus, really, all it is an head, isn't it?
So everything it's got has to be in the
It has to
head.
be in the head. It'd look daft if they dangled down below. Right? So all it is, I mean, there's a lot
Hang
of
on,
facts.
it'd look daft if they dangled down below. I'm wondering if that could almost be the B-side to
B-side to
Knob at Night.
I could eat a knob at night.
James Round says, Karl, if you could be anyone in the world, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Why would you choose to be a dead person?
No, but sometimes, like, there's people who are now dead, but everybody raves about them. What I mean is, if...
Oh, just answer the question. Who would you be and why? Someone you admire or you think had a good life. Just answer the
but
question.
What I mean is, it's good to be remembered, like Winston Churchill is remembered as being a decent bloke, but I wouldn't want the hassle that he had. So I don't want to live his life,
Right.
but it's good to be...
You'd like to be Winston Churchill, but you'd like to have a paper round instead of...
Saving the world.
yeah.
That's what I mean, but is he saying whose job would I want to take on?
It's not that
The
complicated.
question is this, if he could be anyone in the world, who would Karl be? That's the question. That's all the information I've got.
A lot of responsibility on a lot of jobs, isn't they?
So, some of the names flowing through your head now?
I was thinking Bruce Willis.
I never expected that!
So his responsibility in your mind is what? Saving people who are trapped in a building with terrorists?
Well, yeah, maybe, you know, his worries are different worries. With, you know, people who have a lot of money come other worries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So Bruce Willis, he's always going on these marches, isn't he, saying stop war and all that. Mainly because he's got more to lose if there's a war. He's got loads of houses. One of them's going to get damaged. Whereas if you're poor, you've got the one house. If there's a war, it's like, oh, just end it all for me then. I'm sick of it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Whereas Bruce, yeah.
With successful life and happy life, there's more for you to lose, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like at the moment, because I've finished a job that I've been at for 10 years, right? I've finished working there, so suddenly I've got my timetable's a bit out, and I haven't got enough of a routine, and I'm a man who likes to know what I'm doing. Right?
Yeah.
So now suddenly
5 until 7, washing up with no thumbs.
I've sort of turned into like an old person where the little jobs that you shouldn't enjoy are now the main event. So
But hold on, though. How old are you? You're 31, aren't you?
32.
32, and you're pottering around, not knowing what to do with yourself.
Well, like yesterday, Suzanne's shoes needed to go to the cobblers, right?
I haven't heard the word cobblers.
I didn't even know cobblers still existed.
I only ever see that in Christmas films made by Disney.
Well, I had to go and do that, and that suddenly...
Because last time you were going to the toffee shop. And now you're going to the cobblers. Next week it's the candlestick maker.
But all I mean is that suddenly is a nice little day out. I'm sort of putting my coat on, going, right, I'll go and see the cobbler now and go and have a chat.
Tell me about the cobbler.
You didn't come back with 3 magic beans, did you?
No, the cobbler's all right. He's doing, he's fixing
cobbling.
shoes and that.
He's cobbling all day.
Have I told you about my Uncle Alf, who was a cobbler?
No?
I'm sure I told you about him. He's the one who he lived in like a bedsit, and he had 2 tellies. He had like one that the sound didn't work on, and one that the picture didn't. But both together, it worked.
Oh, right, okay.
So as long as he was watching the same channel on both, sound came out of one telly, and he'd watch the picture on the other.
Brilliant.
And he slept in like a rubber dinghy, right? But he was...
Whoa! You can't just let that slide. Why did you sleep in a rubber dinghy?
He just liked boats and stuff, and he sort of...
Yeah, I like boats, but they're better on the water. Beds are better to sleep on. Boats are better to sail on.
Well, he just had it in there. It's a bed set. It was really tight space.
Boat sit.
He's got this.
It's moved into a dinghy sit.
He's got this dinghy, so he's thinking, well, rather than it get in the way, I might as well use it.
Yeah.
Right? But he was a cobbler, and he used to like repair like my shoes and that, right?
Yeah.
But he'd always sort of overdo them, right? So
What do you mean?
like,
Fancy.
do you know like Pimp My Ride on MTV?
Yeah.
Because he does up shoes, he'd go mental on them.
What do you mean? There was the stereo.
Yeah.
Well, no,
There was horns.
He'd sort of-
Here
Go
comes
faster
Karl.
stripes down the side.
Yeah, here comes Mr. Pilkington. He's got the fastest shoes in the land.
No, he'd just make shoes that would last forever. So instead of putting like 1 sole on, he'd put about 5 on. So it looked like one of them built-up shoes that you never see. He'd just put loads of stuff on. They'd last forever, but they did.
But they look like
I was-
orthopedic shoes.
Yeah. It just like suddenly I was like 6'7" whenever he'd sort of sorted my shoes out. But he's a cobbler, and it's work that's always there for you, isn't it?
I suppose so.
So you went out with to take Suzanne's shoes to the cobbler.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so I just took him to the cobblers and that was like a nice little job for the day. I got a leaflet through the door saying, if you want to walk a dog, the rates are good. I don't know what they pay and that. And I thought if I do that and get a paper round, 2 in 1.
Sorry, you just went from a job, right, where you were the head of production at a radio station, dare I say it, on... can I discuss your...
Well, it was an all right wage. Yeah.
It was very good.
But I wasn't happy, so it's pointless.
No, I know that, but to go from the head of a department on a lot of money to walking dogs and doing a paper round, I don't know.
No, but it's about being happy, isn't it?
I know, but that's commendable if that's true, but... okay.
And that makes you happier.
Well, I haven't walked the dog yet, but I'm just saying if I do... I mean, I'm not taking it if it's raining. I'm just thinking if it's a nice sunny day and I fancy a potter, I'll go round to her and say, well, how much are you paying? I'll take the dog a walk and stuff.
But I can't believe some of the words that have cropped up. Potter, cobblers, toffee shop. It's very, very strange.
Do you live in Narnia? Karl, Joe from Bradford asks, what body parts can you live without? He wants to know. He's obviously having sleepless nights thinking about this.
What, so...
With a brain.
He's coped this far.
I did a bit of an experiment on this, right?
Brilliant.
It's my job at home to wash up, right? Suzanne does...
She gives you all the really big responsible ones.
Yeah.
She sort of like pays the bills and wires the house. And you go, what can I do? And you can go, well, you can go and play with the worms in the garden.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's my job to wash up and that, right? And I thought to sort of make it interesting and stuff. I thought, I wonder if I can do it, right? If I didn't have any thumbs.
And so what did you do?
So I just sort
You
of
sliced off your thumbs.
I just sort of held them in, and it's amazing how, like, it took me ages. just having that one thing gone.
Well, it's part of our evolution, the opposable thumb. Basically, that's when we soared. These are milestones in human evolution. The opposable thumb, the forward-facing eyes, the upright. These are massive things in taking us out of the animal kingdom.
And one day, Karl, you'll walk upright.
But what do you mean about eyes facing forward? You mean before we got here, there was people whose eyes were looking in their head?
So, when you were doing this experiment, washing up, you say that you found it difficult, it took you ages. So you didn't just give up once you realised how essential thumbs were.
No,
you actually washed up everything.
I just think of Suzanne walking in and Karl's there, just covered in water and very liquid suds, standing on a pile of broken crockery.
Yeah, plunging his face into the sink every 30 seconds and just swishing his head around.
But we talked about the washing up thing before, I don't know, and I sort of look out of a window, so the sink's in front of the window.
Yeah.
And that's why I quite like washing up, because I can just look out onto the street, see people going past. There's like a local homeless fella called Franco. You know, I look out that he's all right and everything.
Sure.
But I was looking across the way, right, and there's some there's some Chinese people who live in a flat, right, really small flat, and they're up till all hours. I don't know what they're doing. But they decide to back up at about 3:30 in the morning. Right? They're always really noisy and that. But above them, there was some woman, right, who the sort of bedroom is on par to our kitchen, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sort of washing up,
Yeah.
and I sort of look across and see this woman with like, you know, no pants on and that, no bra and that.
Naked.
Yeah, just
That's the word you're looking for.
yeah, she's just wandering about, you know, on that. So I was like, oh, what's going on here? So I carried on washing up and that, right? And kept looking, and then I was looking and she looked at me. Right, so we made eye contact.
Sure.
So I was like, oh God, right? So what I thought the best thing to do was sort of drop me pants a little bit. just a little bit, just like, you know, I had boxer shorts on and that. I thought if I just show a little bit of sort of arse cheek, then it's kind of like, right, we quits. Right?
I don't understand the thinking.
So Suzanne's watching the telly, right? I think she was watching Sex and the City or something.
Yeah.
She sort of turns around to see how I'm getting on with the washing up, right? She sees me with like my pants sort of down a little bit with my arse out. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Don't look now." I said, "But there's a woman over the road, right, with no pants on and that." She caught me looking. I'm just giving her a bit back.
I love the fact that he explains the rules and Suzanne's meant to go, okay.
That makes sense. But I don't. So hang on. So you showed a bit of your arse. You turned presumably to show the arse, or waggled the arse out the woman.
I had to lift it up a little bit on the sort of on the draining board.
What? Hang on though. What did she do? Did you register her reaction when she saw a bit of your arse? What happened?
When she saw my arse,
yeah.
Well, then I wasn't looking because I thought, in a way, I don't want it to look like, well, I've seen a bit of your stuff, here's a bit of mine. I just thought, at the end of the day, I caught a glance of you.
It's only fair.
You've had a bit back. You know, I'm not making a big deal out of it.
I genuinely think James Stewart missed a trick here in Rear Window.
Yeah.
This would have been, you know, a much better film had James Stewart just popped his pants down.
It would have given a whole new meaning to the title Rear Window.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tricky though. I seem to be surrounded by people like that. Remember that film, that Sliver or something?
Okay, right.
When they've got video cameras.
Yeah.
I'm just looking onto everybody's world and just seeing what people are getting up to. There's nothing wrong with that.
Brilliant.
That's why I like washing up.
Hickory dickory dock, some lads there just wrote a song called Clocks. The lads are Coldplay.
And the song is
Clocks. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, pressing the little buttons there. XFM 104.9. What's that little Well,
I think I do more than press the buttons.
right, see, this is it, right? Karl has had a little strop on since last night, okay? And it's...
He's had a little strop on.
Yeah.
You said strop on. I just wanted to clarify.
And,
I don't know why. He says that I'm an annoying person. He says that I wound him up, right? Which I don't know. He says that you're winding up because you're sort of like negative about everything.
Negative?
Yeah. And, but what I think it is because we pointed out that his lateness is unacceptable.
Yeah.
He said, meet you at 6. He turned up at 20 past. He said, well, someone stopped me in the corridor. I don't care.
I've got stuff to do.
We had stuff to do. I think we're a bit busier than you, Carl. You've got one job, we've got loads of jobs, I keep telling you that. You've got one job in a little room, a 9 to 5 there, that you don't even get done in 9 to 5, that's why you're late and mucking around all the
'cause
time.
there's loads of work to do.
Yeah, one
Right.
job.
No, it's not. It's one job with a lot of other jobs in it. It's like those little Russian dolls you get. Right?
Well, it's
So
not,
don't
is
have a
it?
go. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, oh, he only sits in his studio messing about, making songs a phrase. That's what I do in my free time. Which we've got coming up later.
Super slick. I still
dear.
think 20 minutes late is an outrage, though.
Yeah,
Carl.
20 minutes late
Yeah,
is...
but I didn't say bang on 6, I
You
said
said
around
6. No, you didn't. You said 6, which means 6.
Well, it doesn't.
Wait, sorry, it doesn't.
If I was a newsreader, I'd say, yeah, you've got to be on time. Do you know what I mean? If it was a 6 o'clock news, I wouldn't want to be late. But it's the fact that I said to you, I'm busy, I've got stuff to do.
No, you didn't say that. You said 6 o'clock to sort out tomorrow's
I
show.
didn't, I know what I said, so...
Yeah, well,
Oh, you don't, because I remember you sent me a text. You didn't even, it wasn't even a phone call. You didn't even have the politeness to call.
Stephen has stitched him up by
Was it
being a
text?
little bit more
Busy.
precise than him.
It was a text and it said, see you around 6 tomorrow, question mark?
Around. You just said it.
Well,
Around
yeah, but
6.
that doesn't count, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, yeah, no, he does.
What, so, alright,
You told me he said 6.
Well, he did. I'm paraphrasing. 6 o'clock, Rick. To me, even if it was around 6 o'clock, that would be 5 to 6 or 5 past 6. It would not be 20 minutes after the event, because that is late.
Yeah.
Well, you've got nothing. You see, you haven't even got an excuse.
Yeah, but then I turned up, right, and I said, right, well, let's not argue about this. Let's come up with some good new features, because we've been in, Cheapest Chimps, that's gone today.
Good news.
He never liked Cheapest Chimps, Carl, did he?
Right, he never liked it. Do you know what? Do you know who's took it further?
Go on.
Donald McIntyre.
What?
He's doing a programme, Cheapest Chimps.
No, he's not.
doing
It's a channel well, we'll see. Again, I'll prove you right again.
He's
Prove you wrong.
he's not doing a programme Cheapest Chimps, is he? He's not! What do you mean?
He's doing a tour of trail on Channel 5 and it was saying, you know...
Is
it's
it
on
5
this.
or is it about 20 past 5?
He's doing this, he's done that, you know, now see him on Channel 5 because he's moved to Channel 5.
Right.
He's saying first big problem, chimps, you know, they're deer and that. And,
No, they're not, dear. He's getting confused.
no, 50 odd grand for a chimp, and it's saying, you know, he'll look into how much you can get gorilla for.
What are, in the name of God, are you talking
We'll
about?
talk about that later.
But I don't know what,
I'm just saying, that's another idea.
and
that
then, yeah,
seems to
so
be-
go on, you got off, this is why you never get stuff done and you're
Yeah.
late. You got off the point, you were talking about arriving late.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying to you now, I turned up late, so I said, right, well, let's not argue.
Yeah,
I said, let's do some stuff.
yeah.
You weren't having any of it. I think at one point you were trying to be sick on my leg.
I do remember that.
Yeah?
Why? Just for fun?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's when I started getting annoyed.
He was very annoyed last night.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see where that can be annoying, but you just gotta think, hey look, so what? It's, you know.
Well,
I think you rub each other up the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
no more Cheapest Chimps today. And nothing to replace it, because we didn't have a chat. Songs of Phrase, we're doing that, you can win some stuff.
Yeah, we've got the film that we haven't done for the last 2 weeks.
The final film, we won't be doing that
Let him
anymore.
down, it's 2 weeks. So you're 2 weeks late on that.
Can I just ask, guys, is there going to be some great music?
Yeah, well,
What
I've got
about
some-
something from the only ones?
Yeah,
The classic,
another girl,
Another
another planet.
Brilliant.
Another Girl, Another Planet by The Only Ones on XFM 104.9. I'm working with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, cheer up. Come on. There's a war on. Chill out.
Yeah.
I have to say, you have become increasingly annoying recently, Rick.
Who,
I think,
me?
yeah, chiefly, I tell you what it is, I think it's the hot weather. Can I just remind you, when we were in the office recently, we've got a little office that we write in, we work in, and many moons ago, we were doing some work. This was when we were writing the first series of the office, and I was typing away, I was just typing something up we'd written, and I read it back to Ricky, just to check he was happy with everything. I was reading it back, and, as part of the thing, there was a knock in the script, it said, you know, knock, and so I was acting out for him, and I knocked like this, and I realised he wasn't listening, he was in fact asleep underneath his desk, and I knocked like that, as part of, reading the stage directions, I knocked, he thought someone was coming in, he leapt up, clunked his head, zipped up, thought someone, I said, Rick, it's not, I'm just acting that out for you. He just wasn't paying attention, he wasn't listening, and can I just throw in, so recently, we're in another office, we're typing away, I look round, he's got his shirt off.
It was hot.
He's taking his shirt off, right? So he sat there, 41-year-old man, whatever you are, 40-year-old man, there with his shirt out. Beautiful. I mean, I've seen most parts of your body now at one point or another. I think from the early days when we used to work at XFM, you started showing me bits of your anatomy, which is something he does to people he likes, friends of his. I'm sure you've seen most of it, Carl.
No.
And so, he was
That's
sat
a
there.
relationship. Go
He
on.
was sat there, and there was a knock at the door because we'd asked someone who worked in the building to bring us something, and so I had to delay it by sort of not opening the door so he could get his shirt back on.
Yeah.
So he was running around trying to get his shirt back on. So
What would they have thought? What would they have thought?
they'd have walked in, he'd have just been sat there, stripped to the waist.
Didn't they sort of think, hang on, what's going on? Look through the keyhole.
No.
Well, it was ludicrous because as they came in, he was flustered and he kind of was just leaning against the window, just looking like. I often stand here with my my shirt back to front.
I was getting like Bernard Manning. You see Bernard Manning, whenever he goes into the house, he has to go upstairs to take his trousers off. I love that. The fact that in your house you've just got your pants and your vest on. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, but it's all the time. It's not just. I mean, you haven't done that with me, taking your clothes off and that yet. But like last night, we were sat in the pub and I was saying, right, you know, let's not even worry about new features. Then let's get the current ones, you know, going.
Like
getting
what?
Good. Like the one that I was trying to work out, the cheeky freak of the week.
Think of that!
Yeah, but I was
Think of
saying,
that though, as a normal conversation.
yeah,
As
but
a-
I'd looked online, right? I didn't find that much. I found, actually, I'll tell you what I found later. Brilliant. We're looking for them, right? And, then at one point, I think you said to me, go and, you know, what about the Guinness Book of Records?
Yeah,
you know,
those are
they'll have, like,
yeah.
the best freak
Yeah.
in the world or whatever.
Yeah, ever.
So, I said, yeah, bring one in. Now, you've got one at home.
Yeah, I've got a
But you
couple.
couldn't be bothered carrying that in today, so I had to go out of the pub that I was at,
Yeah.
nip into Borders,
Yeah.
buy Guinness Book of Records,
Yeah.
out of my own money, $18.99,
Yeah.
bring it back, and then you said, oh, I don't know if I want to do this feature. So it cost me 20 quid for that. I had to buy a video for Silence of the Lambs film clip. I'm actually out of pocket at the end of this.
But do you want to work with me is the thing. If you want to work with, people would pay that sort of money to work with me, Carl. You're a lucky bloke. Think how many people think, oh, Carl, he gets to drink and sit.
Yeah.
Well, you were making a cup of tea and I surprised, didn't I? Little surprises.
You know, last night, do you know when I left the pub in a bit of a mood, because I was just fed up with not getting anything done?
Yeah.
Walking down the road, I was thinking, how can I get out of this? How can I stop having to work with them? I'm thinking, I wonder if I leave, I wonder if they'll be funny and they'll go, and then my boss will be giving me stick. I'm thinking, how much notice have I got to give out? And all this is going through my mind. I'm walking home and I got in, said to Suzanne, I'm sick of it. She's going, you need to do it when I get a new kitchen. And I was like, yeah, but how big does the kitchen need to be? I was saying, do we need a big kitchen? Can we get a small one? Have we got enough for a small kitchen? Do we need so many cupboards? Can we just have wood instead of steel? All this, trying to get out of doing this.
Yeah. It's always just, I always feel like, you know, because I like to think that I'm not perhaps as bad as him.
Yeah,
You
no.
annoy me in different ways.
Like what? How does he annoy you?
Well, stuff that, you know, I come up with ideas, say Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
Rockbusters springs to mind.
Yeah.
15
I like
Taiwan.
15 Taiwan. Let's just remind people what 15 Taiwan was.
It was a little feature that I wanted to give a run, you know, give it a little run, see if people like it.
The premise being?
No, there's no premise, it's just a title.
No, we were going to get 15 sort of ornaments, you'd explain them, and then people would call up and say, that one's from Taiwan.
See? God, you just explained why I didn't think that was a good idea.
Yeah,
By
but
explaining the good...
No, you know the funny thing is, Steve, right, I was walking down Regent Street on Monday, walked past one of these big stores, right, and they've got all famous quotes on the windows, right, and one of them was something like, an absurd idea is often a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you know who said that?
Go on.
Einstein.
Yes.
Which made me wonder, if you were his mate, would he ever have done E equals MC squared? Or would you have said, don't bother with that, it's not going to work? Because that's all you seem to do, everything I come up with, you put down.
Yeah.
Silence, Alex.
FM by Snoop Doggy Dogg and Justin Timberlake and a bunch of other people. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Sorry, I was just enjoying that Hope and Greenwood confectionery.
Lovely.
I wish I had something to wash that down with, Rick.
Won't you have a glass of lovely Ban Rock Station red wine?
Oh, lovely.
It's barbecue friendly.
Yeah, perfect.
Good. So just keep sending stuff in for
Free stuff, please, free
Good,
stuff.
good stuff. Karl, what are we talking? What are we doing? I've got something to tell you actually. You know we teased Steve about not ever spending any money.
I'm careful with money, I'm not.
Yeah. Guess what? He's treating it like he's nurturing this, right? He keeps running off, right? In the edit, he's having a suit made, and he wants to be just right because I reckon he's forking out quite a lot. He's having a suit made. Think of that, him.
Let me tell you this though, I don't want you thinking that I'm getting all flash with my cash. It's very hard to buy off the peg when you're 6'7". So, you know, it was a necessity. Karl, I don't want you thinking that this is the beginning of some new phase.
Well, is everything you buy sort of made to measure? Or?
No, I'm afraid if only I could afford it, mate. But, no, I'm off the peg generally, but...
So what, like properly done and that, just...
Oh, yeah, it's the full thing. The full works. Got to keep going back for fittings, they got that little bit of chalk, you know, the pins.
That's where I had mine made, you know how good I look all the time.
Did you have to have that, thing done where they say, what side do you wear your member?
What side you dress? They don't say what side you wear your member. That would hardly be a euphemism, would it? So they say what side you dress, sir. It means what side your little John Thomas leans, doesn't it, on rest, usually to the left, isn't it? Your little left testicles.
If I said to you now, what side do you wear? Hang on. Do you know?
It would be left. It would be the left. That's what I mean. If standing there, right, with nothing restricting it or holding it in or holding it up, right? It sort of leans. Your one ball is sort of like slightly back and lower, isn't it? And your little John Thomas rests there, so it's left. And the reason they ask it is so they don't put the tape measure up on the left and squash your willy or touch your willy.
So it's nothing to do with like, well, you'll need a bit more room, sort of more material on that side, or.
Well, no, I don't think they compensate. It's just when they put when they stick that up into your groin, they don't want to come in contact with your.
The thing is, I don't know what side I wear stuff on. I just sort of pull my pants up and wherever it wants to go that day.
But maybe it's not big enough to sort of make any, you know, real decision.
But like now, I'm sat here right with my jeans on. I don't know where I am.
Well, that's clear from hearing you talk.
No, but what I mean is, if a fella said to me, "What side are you? What side's your member on?"
Member. What is this? What is this? The use of the word member suddenly?
I'd go.
Well, it's not. It's usually not appropriate. And also, I imagine in the old days they had big baggy pants and used to sort of like hang down. And now, you know, like with those stretchy boxers and briefs, it's sort of held up in a nice little, neat little parcel, isn't it? So it's probably not appropriate. It doesn't come in contact with your little snake. So, you know. Did you ever? What have you ever heard that? Are you telling me a tailor has asked you that and you went, "What do you mean, mate?"
No, I've never. I've not really had one made to measure. I had one made when I was a kid, but since then I've sort of bought a suit off the hook. But when you were saying about buying a suit, I know that question sort of crops up, and I don't know what the answer is. It just annoys me the way I don't know. There's no surprises anymore. Do you know what I mean? People know.
What do you mean? He's gonna go like, right, I'm gonna measure you now. Which side shall I measure? Go, well, pot luck, go on, have a look. Right, there you go. Oh, you got it. You took me off.
What do you mean there's no surprises anymore? What are you talking about?
Everything you say is a surprise. Everything you say, every opinion you have is a surprise to me.
What I mean is, why aren't people just happy just to go, well, depends, isn't it? I'll just pull the pants up wherever it wants to go, I'm happy.
What do you mean? Why is this such a big issue?
But Karl, when they ask you this question, they're not making a note of it somewhere. It's not statistical research to find out what the kind of common leaning is. It's a question so he doesn't touch it when he's using his tape measure.
Just be careful.
But he's being careful by asking the question.
But what's wrong with him touching it anyway? If he's, I mean, it's only like a slight.
Fair enough.
But if he just sort of, knocks it a little bit, you can just gotta go.
Do that again?
To me, it's the same as the prostate thing. It's just happening all over again.
But the doctor doesn't go, oh, what side's your arse on, sir? trying to avoid the arse. He wants to go, he knows where your arse is, and he's aiming for it, and he wants to get it up there. He's aiming for it for a good cause. This little fella's going, well, I've got to measure his leg. I don't want to touch the knob. I'll just ask him, sir, do you mind telling me where your cock is so I can avoid it? It's a big difference.
But like I'm saying to you, I'd have to have a look first to let him know. I don't know where it is now. I don't know, it could be the left, could be the right.
Are you telling me you don't know where your knob is
Without
now?
looking.
Well, what do you mean without looking? How could...
Well, you're saying it as if like...
Should we have a guess?
Well, have a look and tell us where it is.
What are you wearing? What sort of pants are you wearing?
I've got my jeans on.
But you got pants on underneath them?
Yeah.
What are they? Briefs? Or boxer shorts?
Boxer shorts.
Boxer shorts. Well, it's probably free, but the jeans are probably restricting it. I think it's probably either in the middle, dressed in, or just slightly to the left. Have a look, and we'll tell the listeners after the break where's Karl's knob. It's a good competition.
Oh, brilliant. We've got to send this to the Sony Awards people.
Run, Snow Patrol on XFM. Well, big question. Where was Karl's knob?
That's what people have been hanging on for.
Yeah. Where was it?
Well, I can't believe people have been texting in.
Hey, well, guessing where it is.
People saying, is it in the middle? Is it in the left? It cost them 10p. Cost them 10p to find out. Just wait, I'm gonna get out the answer. You don't win anything. Right? Right, strike it lucky. Right,
Bottom or middle? Right.
It was to the left.
Oh!
Yeah.
I went with the right. That's annoying.
See, I thought it would be to the left. If not, maybe if it was all scrunched up, sitting down on your lap, right, it might just pop up to the middle. Just pop out, like, you know. Sort
Well,
of.
next week we'll be finding out where yours is.
Where's Ricky's bollocks?
Right then, which leads us nicely into...
Knob news.
Oh, it's the welcome return of Knob News.
Right, okay, it's very much like the news at 10, this, isn't it? I do a bong, or in this case a schlong, and he gives me the headlines, the knob news of the day. The big, where have you collected all this knob news? Was there a lot of knob news this week?
It was mental this week. The amount of stuff. The way it works, you give us the bong,
Yeah.
I'll give you the headline,
Okay.
Steve decides which stories we're going to talk about.
And now on XFM, knob news. Schlong.
Man grows knob on his arm.
Schlong.
Man gets doctors to make him a second knob.
Schlong.
Turkish prisoners made hole in cell wall to produce third inmate.
Schlong.
Doctors accidentally remove man's testicles.
So, well, can I straight away go for the accidental removal of the testicles?
Well, it's happened before, hasn't it? We've talked about that before.
How did that, what did he go in for a tonsillitis, what are they called? Tonsillectomy, and he went in the wrong way. What are you talking about? How can they accidentally remove his testicles?
It says, he didn't look at his folder, and the doctor said to the fella, oh, we've removed your testicles and we want you to take out your prostate gland. So, that's what happened. There's the story. This is what I mean, that's why I don't like going to the doctors. It happens, doesn't it? Because all these sort of, it's when they say things like, oh, it's just, we do loads of these operations. That's when they're not concentrating.
Brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? When they say it's procedure. That's like having a boring job that you do every day when you're not going to be concentrating. I prefer them to go, this is a tricky one, this.
I know what you mean! I sort of do know what you mean!
People, you watch TV programmes about, like, you know, removing someone's second head or whatever, and it's like the best surgeons from all over the world.
It's televised, they can't make a
televised,
mistake.
isn't it?
They can't go, we took his legs off by mistake.
Whereas the fella who's having a prostate's like, oh, do you want to do it? I'm sick of doing them.
Yeah.
And they're probably doing a crossword whilst writing it.
Of course they are, I've seen that actually in operating theatres, they're doing a crossword.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I was just examining some of the other knob news, Rick, a little bit more closely. Man gets doctors to make him a second penis. I'm sure we're all interested to know what happened there.
Yeah.
A German who persuaded doctors to give him a second penis has lost his wife after he showed her the result. Biker Michael Gruber lost his original penis in a motorbike accident, and doctors built him a second one using a mixture of skin, bone and other tissues.
Bone?
Apparently, the penis worked so well that he was even able to father a child with his wife Bianca. But Gruber was still not happy and asked doctors to repeat the operation and build him a better organ, to which they agreed. From his hospital bed, he said, "I've got 2 penises, but no wife. I'm hoping when I get rid of one of the penises, I'll get her back."
What do you mean? Sorry, he had 2 put on.
What side does he wear?
So he's had both. So he's had 3 then.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is probably the thing that happened with Hitler, when he had 1 ball, but he had 3 at one point, didn't he? So he just got one in the other ball, gave his mum one, and got the other one.
Man grows penis on his arm. I mean, why people are constantly losing their penises around the world, I've no idea.
But why
I didn't realise it was a bit...
What do you mean why on the arm? It's just a graft, isn't it?
Yeah, but put it on, like, your buttock or your side. You can't wear a short-sleeve shirt. Why did they've done that before? I don't understand it. Why not just graph it onto the side of your leg or something where it's high up, close to where it should be?
I don't know. To get it used to the environment. Like when you were like released a duck into the wild.
I've never understood that. If there's a doctor, again, you know, we had a doctor last time, he's someone who can let us know why they put it on the arm.
So they can keep an eye on it, presumably. He's not going to work with this knob on his arm. He's probably in a hospital bed and under examination.
Right.
So what do you think? They pop the knob on the arm, say come back in 3 weeks. What do you do, by the way? I'm a mechanic. Keep the knob, keep the long sleeve shirt, because the blokes go, "Why have you got a knob on your arm, mate? What are you talking about?" He doesn't go back to normal as a teacher. "Sir, what is it, Simpkins? You got a knob on your arm. No, don't worry about that. Do your maths." What do you think this bloke's walking around with a big knob coming out of his arm?
Why on the arm?
So they can keep an eye on it. So it's not...
But if he's in bed, just get him to not put any undies on or whatever, and just have a little sly look at how it's going. Even in hospital, if you're in a shared, like, little hospital room, people go, "No, I've had heart problems, what's your problem?" He's there with his arm out.
He's got his knob out! Yeah, but I don't think it counts as indecent exposure when they're grafting a knob on your arm. Sticking that out the bed!
Imagine if he's driving, he's just got it out the window. People driving by.
Yeah. Is that bloke giving me the finger?
At the end of the man grows penis on his arm story, it says, a Moscow surgeon said the man will be able to have sex in a few months. He said, "Women will never suspect." But what kind of a doctor talks like that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, is this cock now, seriously. The birds will never know. He'll be able to go berserk.
Yeah.
They'll never realise we grew it on his arm.
That is unbelievable. Will he have a little scar on his arm, do you think?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I say, 83936 if there's a doctor out there.
Or indeed if you've ever grown
or a tailor. Making you a shirt. What side do you wear your cock on, sir? It's on my left arm.
What's this? Bit of stones?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I sort of feel like, you know, one thing we've never done, Rick, is we've never pandered to people, but as it's the last show, we've got to give the audience what they want.
Right, what's this?
Well, yeah, and I was going to say things they don't want as well. And, you know, well, just basically to keep a smile on Karl's face.
Yeah.
I say a smile, a sort of not quite a scowl.
Yeah, he never really smiles.
So, yeah, it's just really as a chance for him to have a go. It's like, you know, you indulge an annoying child.
The only time Karl laughs is for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
What do you think, like...
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes you'll go... and I know you'll be thinking of what a monkey could do.
Yeah, it's like people who've had electroshock therapy.
Yeah! Oh, it's such a tied down biting on
Exactly,
something.
yeah.
Biting on a big leather pad.
Let me just tell you briefly what the prizes are. It's
That
the number.
that looks like a piece of shit. You
Well, let me tell you, mate. Let me tell you. There's a number of mediocre CDs and DVDs.
That is real
But
tiny.
mainly, what about this? It's the Lord of the Rings Collector's Edition.
Oh.
What, the movies you're thinking? No, it's the Radio 4 adaptation. It's only 14 hours long, Rick.
Oh, that is... Throw that away.
So,
Pop that in the bin.
so
That is just... Either pop it in the bin or send it to some poor bastard who wins this quiz.
Exactly. If you're willing to take part in the quiz, you deserve 14 hours of your life wasted with that Tolkien tripe. So,
Right.
yeah, what are the clues then, Karl?
Right, as always, just, you know, cryptic clues and that. Initials of a band or an artist, work it out, win the stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Email only.
yeah, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. First clue is as follows. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for...
It's the good old Jamaican
He's
fella.
back.
The Jamaican fella.
It's the last show the little Jamaican fella's made an appearance.
This normally suggests that you need to think of the answer in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah. Or not.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah,
Come
any
on,
accent.
carry on.
Or an accent. Or pronounce the word slightly differently.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go on.
The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Alright?
Yeah.
DC is on the initials.
DC, D for
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah, DC. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. That's the first one. Second one, it's 3 of them. Second one is, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, The Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper, and Darren Brown. We should all vote for them. Why is that? What was...
I've just got the first one.
ES.
ES.
Right? ES.
Okay.
And the last one, Steve, what did your dad do? Huh?
Steve, what did my dad do?
What did your dad do?
Is that the question, or are you asking me?
Well, Ricky, what did your dad do? It can work on anyone. What
Right.
did your dad do?
Alright.
Right? That's E. Right?
What
So-
did your dad do?
Quickly again, the Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Right? DC. Second one, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine,
Yeah,
Copperfield, Great Soprano. No, but that's important. Right? ES, and the last one, you know, Steve, what did your dad do? Right?
Okay.
The initial E.
Ricky.Gervais at X.
So was it disappointing? Go on.
Anyway, Rockbusters, right? Right, first clue was, Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights.
Yeah.
Right, that was the cryptic clue. The initials were DC.
Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, no, you tell me.
It's Define Comedy. Alright?
Define comedy.
It's a Divine Comedy. Alright?
What is that?
That's
Well,
a
I'm just
Do
Jamaican
the accent again, do the accent again.
No, it's just Divine Comedy. That's
Why
do the
it again, do the accent
No, I'm
again.
not doing it again. You've got the answer. It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Right? Second one. We should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper, and Darren Brown. Why is that? ES were the initials.
Go on.
Electric 6. Right?
What?
Electric 6. It works, so don't say it like that.
I don't know what it means.
Right, well, there's 6 people there who do tricks and that. Right? I'm saying we should vote for them, so you elect them.
Yeah, but he said elect.
Yeah, Electric 6.
No, elect though. Elect,
No.
no, elect's not a word, is it?
And the last one,
I don't think elect's a word, elect.
Steve.
You don't mean Alec, do you? It's not Alec
Steve.
Park. You're not trying to do Alec Park. You won.
Third one, Steve, what did your dad do?
I don't know.
That was E. Could work for anyone, it didn't have to be Steve, right? That was, Erasure. Right? Erasure. You brought it up.
Erasure. No, it doesn't work either. It doesn't work
Kinda does
either.
work, it
No,
does
it doesn't
work.
work. Doesn't work.
Who's the winner?
None of them work. None of them work. Another pile of crap from the mind of little stupid
Go on,
Oh,
Steve.
right.
I'll give the prices
dopey little.
I'm going to give the prices.
Right, we're doing Rockbusters then.
Oh, okay, now you should explain briefly what the concept is, Karl, because there might be a few new listeners.
It's blockbusters. Right, go on then.
Well, it's not blockbusters.
No, because they were real clues,
That
weren't
would-
they?
Yeah, that was actually.
He says they're a cryptic clue. It's not cryptic.
Well,
It's
let's
what
give
am I? It's like what am I thinking? This competition is like what number am I thinking of?
Rick, just calm down for a second. Let me explain basically what the concept is. You'll remember some of the greats from the past.
Yeah.
Basically, you give some vague clue. Is that right, Karl? And from that, we're supposed to deduct which band or artist you're thinking of. So,
Yeah.
for instance, there was a
Well, there was
classic-
one. The West Indian fella spinning a fish round his head, and that was Detroit Spinners.
The Trout Spinners.
Yeah,
Detroit
Detroit Spinners, yeah.
There's also what happens if you fall over into a puddle in Texas. Wet knee Houston.
Yeah,
Wet knee.
that is the level of Karl's
That's what you're
clues.
working with.
No, but could I just say, there's no irony in this. Karl doesn't think this is quirky or kitsch or ironic. He thinks these could go on the Guardian crossword.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
This
so
is the best stuff you can come up with.
yeah.
Right, so there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Right, I give you the cryptic clue,
Yeah, not
and to help
cryptic.
you along, well it is,
Yeah,
and
not
I
really.
give you some initials of the band or the artist or whatever to help you along as well.
Yeah.
3
Now,
of them.
this is on the text only. We don't want emails on this one. Just
It's
eight-
the one that gets the highest or the first one to get 3. The first email with 3 or the first one that is the highest. So if no one gets the third one, which I wouldn't blame you for. So if there's like 30 people that get 2, it's the first email that comes in that we pick, and they win a handful of tat, which would you like to go through?
I'll search out the tat in a second. I'm not sure where it is. Yeah,
Good stuff.
there's some DVDs and stuff there. It's not bad. Yeah, but it means you go forward to the grand final in 6 weeks' time when you're playing for all that amazing stuff Ricky's got. We've got the signed, genuine, exclusive drawing of Homer Simpson done by Matt Groening, featuring references to Karl. We've got the signed Spinal Tap poster. This is big stuff you can't get anywhere else.
No, it's a rare American poster signed by
And it's
Nigel
such a
Safran.
shame that your only chance of winning it is with this inane quiz.
Absolutely, it's not down to skill or anything. It's just such a shame that.
Let's just do it then.
Go on then.
Right, the first one.
Go on.
What you got to remember is it's a band or an artist that XFM play as well, right? Right then, so the first one.
Oh yeah, because X-Men play the Detroit Spinners and Whitney Houston all the time, don't they?
All right, these 3.
Okay.
Giving it away, but these are XFM bands.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. If you got like a bulb.
Oh Jesus. I know, you don't think about the cryptic clue is that every syllable counts. He says it different every time he says it. There'll be something different. Look, go on then.
Right. So if you get a bulb, right?
A bulb what?
A bulb.
A bulb.
What's a bulb?
What's a bulb?
Like a.
A light bulb.
A light bulb. Oh, a light bulb.
So you
okay,
get a
yeah.
bulb?
You get a bulb. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Go on.
He's gone. Right, go on.
So you get a bulb.
Don't
Right.
forget a bulb. Yeah. Have you got something in your throat? What are you doing? You need a gobstopper. What are you doing?
We'll play a song then.
No, come on! Get the clue out, for
Go
goodness
on.
sake.
So the cryptic clue is, so, if you get a bulb, right, so...
That's the beginning. Okay, great.
right, if you get if you get a bulb, like, go on.
And you look after it, right? You look after that bulb. And you teach it stuff. And all
Jesus
that.
Christ.
What you doing there? Do you know what I mean?
This is extraordinary. This is extraordinary.
Imagine that written down in the
He's
Telegraph.
had 18 months to get this
But
right.
imagine it, that's not a clue, that's an essay.
I don't know what it is.
It's a
I
conversation
don't know
with
if he means
yourself.
a light bulb, a bulb like you plant in the garden. What kind of bulb does he mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Oh,
Right, you
okay.
get a bulb.
Well, remember that, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, it doesn't matter
it
what...
does, but I can't say too much. Right, so listen, let me just do it again. You get a bulb, right,
Yeah.
when it's young, you look after that bulb,
Yeah.
you teach it stuff, and what have you. What have you done there? What's gone on?
Brilliant!
And
So
what are the initials of the
concise.
band?
R, right?
R.
R for rabbit, right? So what's the band there? Second one,
Jesus.
people have a problem doing this when they get home from like a night out drinking. Right? What's the problem they've got? Right? The initial there, K. What's the band? Right? People get in from having a night out, they'll have a problem doing this. What is it? What's the problem?
Okay. And clue
Right.
number 3?
I had a vision of that Chinese flu. Right? That's C. I had a vision of that Chinese flu.
You had a vision of that Chinese flu,
Yeah,
and that's
the
the letter
band
C.
C. Right? So 3 bands there. 3 cryptic clues.
Not really.
Text in 83 XFM. Just send the 3 band names. That'll do on it.
Can they do a website as well?
If they want, they can email in.
Well, tell them what it is.
Yeah, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Just send it in there.
Give them again quickly then, Karl.
Right then, so get a bulb when it's young and that. Look
Brilliant,
after it.
different,
look
totally
after
different.
It, teach it stuff.
Yeah.
And all that.
Okay.
What's the band, right?
Yeah.
Second one, people have a problem doing this when they get home late at night. You know, they've been out drinking and that. They get home. What problem are they going to have? K is the initial. Third one, I had a vision of that Chinese flu. What do I mean?
Brilliant.
C is the initial.
Play a record. I mean, it's abomination. Right.
Give us the.
Go on, give us a clue. I haven't got an idea. Go on, give me the clue then again.
Right. Well, do you want to say who the winner is, or
No,
do-
let's
all right,
hear the answers first.
First clue was if you get a bulb when it's young, you look after it and that, you teach it stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Go on.
The initial was R.
Yeah.
Right, that was razor light. All right,
Raise a light. You raise a light.
razor
Yeah.
light. Okay.
Kind of works.
Yeah, it
Second
didn't matter
one.
what sort of bulb it was then.
It was very
Sure.
specific.
Go on, Mike. Go on.
People have a problem doing this when they get home from a night out drinking.
Yeah.
What's the problem they're having? They have a problem getting the key in. That keen. That's the
That's awful.
word.
That doesn't count.
The words.
Keen.
And they got it right.
It's keen. It's keen. It's
get it
one's
right.
awful.
The last one,
Awful.
I had a vision of that Chinese flu.
Yeah.
The initial there was C. That was Caesars. Caesars. They managed to get that as well.
I love the fact that even he knows they managed to get that as well. Did anyone get all three?
Yeah, a few people.
That's terrible. Okay, who was the first one?
I don't know what it says about XFM and its listeners that people are getting these answers right.
I know. Go on then. Waiting for an Alibi by Thin Lizzy on XFM 104.9. Right, okay, this is, of all the trauma in the world, I thought we'd come on to a little bit of it, and he's just brought it right down, a little mank twat, whinging. No, but I mean, do you know what I mean? He's had a go at you, he's thrown you off his team.
I'm devastated by that. That was the one thing I was looking forward to this week.
To be fair, you were looking forward to telling him you were taking over the team, so it's sort of poetic justice. It has blown up in your face, to be fair.
True, I was trying to squeeze him out of his own company.
Yeah, you were going to try and get him out of his team.
Yeah, well,
it was a hostile takeover, and they clubbed together.
To be honest with you, there's normally 3 regulars on his team. I got 2 of them on my side, one of which was his girlfriend. So, I only had to work on him to try and get him to resign, and we'd have been away. Still, you know, we should give, the prizes away.
Yeah, well, this has been dreadful, this thing. We started off well with him trying to put force burgers in his mouth, and then he'd come up with this tat. I mean, this is the end of this, because it was shoddy to start with, now the other couple, well, this is not only,
I'm just saying, this is what I was saying in the pub yesterday when you tried to be sick on my leg. I was saying, come up with new ideas if you don't like them, but you diss them on air.
Well, it's just disappointing, isn't it? And awesome, right. What's that?
I was disappointed when I was choking before.
We were disappointed as well.
Yeah, you didn't try with the grapes. You were just like chewing on that. You meant to just throw them in and swallow them.
Songs of phrase. It was 6 songs. It sounded like this.
Boring. Right, what are they? Just give your
6
answers.
songs there. We had Lionel Richie, My Destiny for My.
Tricky.
Neighbour.
Oh, that's XFM. Ooh.
My Neighbour was
Space.
Neighbourhood. Had Harry Connick Jr. Had to Be You.
Yeah.
Right.
Had your neighbour had a horse.
Horse from
America.
America, yeah.
Had a horse.
In
was Lisa Stansfield with
pathetic.
In All the Right Places.
Oh, pathetic. Did anyone get that?
And
No
a
one
house
got that.
Animals.
So that was pointless.
Alright, well, the most anyone got was 3, and we're going to give it to Deborah, and that's possibly Deborah and Kate. They got at least 3 of those, so well done.
Okay, well done. Yeah, there's prizes on the way. That's the end of that. So that's the No Cheapest Chimps, none of that anymore. What have you got left? You got the film to do? Let's see what you've done with the film.
Hang on, I'd love to have some monkey news, though.
Go on then. Got any monkey news?
Yeah, got some monkey news.
Come on then.
No, Rick, come on, cheer it.
Well, it's a sort of like, he moans that he's got too much time on his hands, and he comes up with that
Okay.
shite.
Monkey news, the jingle, please.
Ooh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Okay,
There's been quite a lot of stuff going on. There was a few bits in that Guinness Book of Records book that cost me 20 quid.
Yeah, well, that's not news, is it? They printed that probably last September.
No,
so that's
there's one in there.
new music. New monkey news from last September. You're a lord.
Come on.
Waster.
Please, Ricky, monkey news.
Right, there was this monkey in a zoo in Brazil.
Right.
Right. And this little man monkey, little woman monkey. And
You're a scientist, aren't you? Go on.
And they said the people in charge were like, oh, wouldn't it be good if they had kids?
Brilliant.
Right. So anyway, the chimps used to stand sort of, you know, they'd have their little caves each, and they used to sort of lean on the fence having a bit of a chat and stuff with each other. Right? Well, you know,
gossiping, yeah, gossiping.
The equivalent sort of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were getting on a storm, and like the zookeepers were like,
Can you hear that cheapest chimps this week? Okay, it was fascinating. Yeah, just gossiping, I understand.
So, what's any monkey news? I don't know, let's tune in.
What was the monkey news this week?
Go on. It was from last September.
So they were you know, stood there having a chat, and the zookeepers were like, I wonder if they're ever gonna, you know, have kids and that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it went on for ages, you know, this just chatting, no sort of action. So what the zookeepers did was, they said, I know, they'll have kids.
Are we letting that go? They were just chatting, are we just letting that go?
Letting it
You know
go.
what I mean? I mean, just doing whatever monkeys do.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, so the zookeepers were like, yeah, I wonder when they're gonna, you know, have some kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, what they decided to do, to sort of do to egg them on,
Yeah.
bought one of them a suit, one a wedding dress.
Right.
Keep going!
No, I'm not having it.
Shut up, Gervais. Fade him down if he's going to interrupt. I want to hear the rest of this.
They got married.
So they got married?
Yeah, they got married.
Right.
What?
That's the end of it.
That's
This is why I don't. Right. That's the end of monkey news. That's the end of monkey news. Don't do that again. You've got no features left.
why don't you like that?
Well, it's not a story. It's about two chimps chatting, which doesn't happen. The zookeeper's going, I wonder if they're going to ever have kids. And come on, they got married. That's the end of the story. What are you talking about?
Hang on, just calm down. Let me just check that you didn't make a mistake there and didn't lose out.
What do you mean you didn't make a mistake?
Wait a minute, he may have just left out a fundamental piece of information.
What, the story?
That would have made it into a story.
Right.
Let me just check the facts. So they bought them wedding outfits. They were married. Did they propose to each other, or were they just forcibly married?
encourage him.
Just forced onto
And
it.
then what was the outcome? Once they got married, what happened? They fell in love?
Yeah.
What?
Whoa!
It's not a marriage, Carl.
Be quiet.
It's not a real marriage. I don't know what you've got in your head. It's like the head of Homer Simpson. I'd go in there and there'd be a wedding reception and there'd be a couple of fights and they'd be talking about stuff.
They got married. They fell in love. Did they have children?
They're not back off the honeymoon yet.
Play a record. You got no features left.
Eve, Satisfaction, new single.
Yeah, XFM, quick, play it. Right, we've waited 3 weeks, we are going to play it. I don't care whether we're late. We were late in because there was news. So, play it.
Which film are you in this week?
Looking at Silence of the Lambs.
Right, play it. Just play it.
Have we got a question?
Well, come
No,
on
who
with a question
cares? Who
afterwards.
cares? Should Karl carry on? Play it.
Right, Silence of the Lambs. The bit where, Jodie Foster is having a chat.
Good evening, Clarice.
Right. Just thought I'd, come and see you.
How very thoughtful.
Don't mind me popping in though, do you? It's just no one else is interested in the sort of things I like talking about.
People will say we're in love.
Well, say what they want. Did you hear the show last week? We were talking about gay people. If they should have their own toilets or not, and stuff.
That was good.
Yeah, it's alright, wasn't it? Got a good debate going. Enjoy doing the show. It's a favourite part of my week, really, just talking about weird stuff and that.
Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
I have a lot of fun in my life. You know, come and see you, and spend a lot of time on the internet, looking up weird stuff. Reading something about a hairy Chinese kid. There's another thing, there's a fella who, no arms and legs, is known as the Pillar Man.
Everything you need to find him is right there in those pages.
Bizarre magazine. Yeah, I get this. The hairy Chinese kid, what annoys me is he could sort it out. He could just have a shave, couldn't he? Do you know what I mean?
No, he cuts.
Does he? Well, use some like Emacs stuff. Yeah, don't be getting funny with me, just 'cause you're in a bit of a mood, right? You know you shouldn't eat people. Your eyes are bigger than your belly, I've always said that, so... See you later.
Interesting. Atmospheric, moody, and the question is... okay, how about this? How many films have been made featuring the character Hannibal Lecter? How many films
They
have
haven't
been
got
made?
time to phone in now, have they?
No, they can email in, they'll have time. Do you care?
I don't care.
No, exactly. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you can be bothered. If you're interested in what, you want a $4.99 copy on VHS of Silence of the
He's
Lambs.
dissing that as well, Karl. Wasn't it that?
Bit annoying, but that's it for this week.
But remember what happened when it... No, it's not. It's 9 minutes to 3. How can that...
Tell him, Steve.
No. How can that be it? It's 9 minutes to 3. What's he doing? Is he playing a record?
Carl, what can I do to get back on your quiz team?
You're not...
Right. Songbird Oasis, right. Send Karl a little present. Send him some essential oils or something, or, I mean, a little lavender pillow, or just a little message. Send him a little message. Tell him it's all worth it. He's getting all grumpy, aren't you?
I just get sick of it, that's all. It's not worth going through the stress for 30 quid every Saturday.
You lying little... You'd get more than 30 quid.
Oh, not much more. Anyway, Steve, who's the winner?
The winner is Mike McNulty. He correctly answered the fact that there were 4 films featuring Hannibal Lecter.
There's a downer now, isn't there? There's a downer.
I think it was you, actually. I mean, I don't know, Carl. It's not like I'm just trying to win myself a place on your team, but I actually felt that Ricky was really out of order.
I gave him grapes.
I thought Ricky was discourteous, if that's a word. I thought he was rude, aggressive, unpleasant. As one person emailed in, a dickhead. So, someone also said you were fat and talentless. I don't like those emailers who do that sort of thing, but one of them said you were really, really annoying.
Well, cheers for that, but you're still not on
they
the
didn't
team.
like what you were wearing.
So, back next week.
What did you say?
He went, cheers for that, but you still not.